Hello everyone, this is Spartacus here. Welcome back to the third episode of the Landing Podcast, hosted by me, Tristan. Or fucking God, what am I doing?
I'm Fisher.
I'm Tristan. This is Fisher.
Hey guys, this is Spartacus here. Welcome back to the third episode of the Landing Podcast. I'm your host, Spartacus 200.
Hey guys, this is Spartacus here, and welcome back to the next episode of the Landing Podcast, hosted by me and Tristan. And today we have a special guest. This is a good friend of mine. I've been pretty much friends with all throughout high school. He is a couple years older than me. He is still in college in California, and he's actually visiting from California for winter break, and he's staying at my house for a few days. And pretty much he is just here to hang out, and we thought we'd have him here as a guest. And it's also the son of Alan. Welcome, Max, everybody.
Where's the applause?
There we go. We got get our applause in there.
It's good to be here.
Yes, and so Max and I actually have been friends. Well, I mean, you were friends with my brother first, honestly.
Yeah,
you guys were in the same class.
Yeah, I was in the same class as his brother, and I just remember one day his mom. We were at a Christmas party together, and your guys' mom came up to me and was like, "Hey, Spartacus's brother needs some friends. You want to come over sometime?"
You can say my real name, by the way. It's not a big
sure.
deal. Yeah.
All right, I wasn't sure. But he's like, "Yo, Ian needs some friends. You want to come over?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
That was what, like sophomore year, right?
Nah, that was like
that was like when you were in middle school.
that was in middle school. That was like 6th grade.
Even then, like that's
yeah.
pretty late in life.
Oh no, yeah, like I
I
mean,
think someone needs friends.
like as both of you know, like my brother and I, we don't technically like live in town, and so we didn't have like any neighborhood kids like basically on the same road as us, and so I think most of the time we were just kind of home by ourselves, and we never really went into town to hang out with friends too much. So I think she like really pushed us to like kind of forced us to be friends with people. Like my mom actually did do it with Dakota. The S last name.
Yeah,
I won't say
yeah.
last name, but yeah, the Dakota. He like that actually happened one time. She like basically kind of forced him to come to my house, and we would hang out. And he actually, this is actually a funny story. We were playing video games. I don't remember what game we were playing, but this is back when I was still playing on PlayStation, and it was kind of like a single player game we would trade off. And I remember I was playing, and I looked back at him because I haven't like heard him say anything, and he literally like fell asleep on the couch while at my house. But I mean, yeah, good times, whatever. Dakota's a great guy, though.
You never hung out with Dab King? He lived right by you guys.
Dab King, no, no. I think there was only one time I ever went to his house actually. But that was like when we were really little. I don't. Him and I, we never really hanged out. So, but yeah. Either way, welcome, Max. This obviously we're pretty big amateurs when it comes to the podcast game. We're still learning a lot of different things. I want to ask you right away. So have you ever done something like this? Like you've put yourself into the public eye, whether that's in a podcast, a video.
Like, did I try to sell my body?
No.
My service?
I mean, maybe, but
Possibly have, yeah.
Possibly. I mean, I know you've done like video projects for school or
yeah.
whatever, but like, I don't know. Have you ever like, I guess intentionally put yourself out onto like social platforms to like I don't know, maybe get recognized?
I did have a YouTube channel back in middle school. It was really bad because I kind of did it as a joke. This was when fan fictions were really popular back in the day. And for my YouTube channel, what I did was I would look
Please
up
tell me you made Shrek
the
as
weirdest
love his
fan
life.
fictions I possibly could, and then I would just read them. And I think I uploaded 2 videos, but the one I remember the most was the SpongeBob fanfiction I read. It was like this crossover between SpongeBob and Twilight. Things got very sexual very quickly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, and this was back in middle school. You guys created this?
Yeah. Well, I created. I was the only one. See, like I didn't have a lot of friends back in middle school. Mainly not by choice, or I guess it was by choice, just because like I didn't like anyone. I thought people were dumb as hell.
Would you consider yourself kind of socially awkward too at the time? Like, was it hard for you to like put yourself?
Oh
out
yeah,
there
I
and
was ugly. Are you kidding me? I got that pepperoni face.
I mean, yeah, I think everyone can agree that, you know, middle school days were pretty awkward times in our lives.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's good to know. But yeah, so you did that back in middle school. I know in high school you made some videos because obviously, you know, I had to do the same thing. We went to the same high school.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. Yeah. But Tristan, since you obviously aren't as close with Max as I am, do you have any questions to ask him that maybe you have on top of your head?
Yeah, because you were talking about how in middle school you said that you felt that a lot of people were dumb. And I like, you know, that's the thing about you. I know you've always been really smart. Like you've always had like really good grades, and like I know this makes you sound full of yourself if you say yes to this, but like, did you feel like did you literally feel like everyone was dumb and you were just smarter than everybody at the time? I'm not saying that like in a mean way, because like there are times like whenever like let's say like for example like some people in my family, the older I got, I realized they weren't that smart. Like when I was like 14, 15, I started to realize I was smarter than some people in my family. Not dissing them, but like that's just how it is. Like, did you feel that way? Like did you like?
Yeah.
Like morally speaking too, like not even just like intelligence wise, but morally speaking too. Did you just realize, oh, like, you know, like these people are on a lower level than I am?
Yeah, I would say it was almost to a point where it's like a god complex. Like I felt morally and intellectually superior to everyone around me. I remember one day in 8th grade, I kind of woke up and I was like, damn, I am God's gift to this godforsaken town. Like, I'm like the walking Asian Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because like, so my birthday was in July, so I was like, you know, Fisher knows, like I was like about a year older than everybody else in our class. And I wasn't sure if it was just because, you know, and I also like, I hit puberty early. Like I hit puberty when I was 11, so I shot up and I was taller than pretty much all my friends. And then once like middle school, like once like sophomore year rolled around, all my friends started to hit puberty. They all shot up and they were all taller than me. So there was like a couple year period where I felt dominant to everybody, like not just height wise, but intelligence wise too.
Yeah.
Like in 3rd grade, I was doing 4th grade English and like 5th grade math, and my parents were pushing the school to have me skip a grade because one of our buddies that we played football with, Colton, not gonna say his last name, but you guys know who I'm talking about.
Right.
He's a month younger than me, but he was a grade ahead of me, but I'm a month older than him. So they thought about skipping me up a grade because I was older than everybody, and they started me late in school because I had an early birthday, but they decided to quote unquote hold me back. And I remember like in like elementary school, I was doing stuff that was a grade or two ahead of everybody else, and I felt like I was hot shit. And then I realized that I took that to my advantage and I didn't push myself intellectually. So once everybody else started to grow and stuff like that, I realized that I never pushed myself because I was so cocky as a kid. So then I realized they all started to become as smart as me, if not smarter than me, and it really humbled me at the time.
Yeah, I would say that the same thing kind of happened my sophomore year because I got really lazy my freshman year. Just because like school was really easy for me. So I could do an assignment in probably 15 minutes and then not have to do any work for the rest of the day.
And academically, where we came from, it wasn't too challenging anyway.
No. No way.
Yeah.
But I got humbled pretty quick. Like, disclaimer, I don't have a god complex anymore.
So that makes me want to ask you this next question. How does it feel to have reached the peak of your life already?
Whoa. I'm still getting cuter every day. I mean,
yeah, you're still getting cuter. I mean, I can definitely contest to that. But yeah, you know,
hey, yo,
no homo.
Yeah, I mean, look at your dad. There's no way you're not going to turn out hot.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but no, yeah, you know, high school was definitely a different time for all of us, you know, whether we went through really hard things or whether it was just really easy for us academically. Clearly, we're all out of high school now. Max is obviously still going to school. I just got done with school, and I'm trying to find out how to transition to the real life world, you know, like as a functioning adult. I mean, you, Tristan, you're pretty much already, like, I would consider more of a functioning adult than me because you're living on your own with your girlfriend. You are already paying bills and stuff like that. I haven't got to that point yet. Like, I've paid bills before. Like, I've paid rent before, like when I lived in that one apartment in the university I went to, but you know, you obviously have a lot more. Like you probably have, I assume are paying for insurance. You have rent. You have phone bills. You got all this stuff on top of you. I haven't
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, exactly, all that stuff, and I haven't fully transitioned into that quite yet, and that's kind of like where I'm at right now.
Yeah, and then also I was wondering back to the whole college thing. I mean, like, yeah, I know you guys are Fisher. You went to school, Max. You're going to university. I went to college for a semester. Okay, like have pretty much no knowledge about college, and I know going to Darrington, it's a smaller school, and going from there to a university, like how has the transition been? Like especially for you, Max, and I know Fisher, you can chime in on this too, considering you just graduated. But like Max, how has the transition been? Because I know you were. I remember you being straight A. I can't remember exactly how your GPA was, but you were always like one of the smartest people, not just in your class but in the school. Like, how is it going from that, where you're pretty much put on a pedestal, to getting put into a big university where you're basically just at the bottom of the food chain again?
It was very humbling. Definitely opened my world perspective. It was very tough my first quarter, actually, because, you know, you're going from straight A's, and then your first quarter at college, I'm not going to lie, I spent a lot of it partying and doing, you know, not class, anything that wasn't class.
Understandable.
Because I thought I could just BS my way through it. I remember my first midterms came back. I got all A's. I said, all right, this is easy. I don't need to study. Then finals came around, and I think that was the lowest GPA I ever got. That was like, I think I had a 1.9 GPA. I'd have to double check that, but it was quite drastic. Yeah. But, you know, after that, it's more so just adjusting to how to study in college, and also like balancing that social life and academic life. I think that was the hardest part for me, because I wanted to have a much more diverse social life when I needed to focus on my studies.
Yeah, and for those of you who are still listening, you know, Max goes to a pretty academically challenging school. Like, it is hard. Like, he does not go to an easy, like, it's not an easy school to get into, first of all. And academically, when you get into it, it is a lot more challenging compared to other universities out there, especially the one I went to. And so I feel like if I went to your school, Max, I would have such a hard time keeping up with my classes. And I don't even know if I get a 0.2 GPA. Like,
I think you definitely could. You definitely could if you like spend enough time doing it. But it's more so like the amount of time you have to spend studying, I was not prepared for.
Yeah, yeah, you know, school, yeah, and, you know, like you mentioned already, you know, having that balance between your social life and academics is definitely really important, especially if you're working at least a part-time job while you're going to school. Like, you know, you have then that's another thing you have to put into the equation of balancing all this time in your life. And it's not too difficult to balance it out once you figure it out. Once you figure out some sort of schedule, you know, you can do every day. But, you know, having that social life in college, I think, is desperately important for everybody, because for one, you're in a place with completely new people, to the people you don't know, and that's how you're going to make connections throughout later in life, honestly. And of course for you went to a school out of state, so you went to a completely different environment compared to where you grew up originally.
I will say that the thing that like I noticed the most was when I got to college, I said, oh my god, there's Asian people here. I was like, I've never been around Asian people in my life before I went to college, and it was like the most surreal experience I've ever had. I don't know how to describe it. It was like, wow, these are my people. You know, and there's different kinds of my people. There are Chinese people, Korean, Japanese, like all sorts of Asian people. I'm like, dang, where do I fit in?
Yeah, especially since you grew up in the small ass town where everyone's basically the same skin color.
Predominantly white.
Yeah.
I mean, Alexander, my brother, and I were the only two Asian people in our school. So,
and you know, one thing I want to bring up really quickly is that I can't remember who brought this up not too long ago, but your class in particular, the class of 2019, right?
Yeah.
The class of 2019, you guys had a really diverse class, though. Like
Yeah, I
you,
think
Yeah.
I brought that up.
yeah, maybe it was you, Tristan. But yeah, like you, of course, there was you and your brother. We got Asians, of course. Then we have the white local, like people who are probably gonna stay there their whole lives. And then you have there was black. You had a couple. How many black?
Liz.
Was Liz the only
We
black
had Liz,
person?
yeah.
Uh,
Isaiah Plunkett.
And then I don't
Yeah,
know. What's
Too,
Mai?
before he moved.
Wait,
Mai-
what's I don't know what race Mai is exactly. Like, is she a mix between different kinds?
She's like a cocktail.
A cocktail?
She's not white.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know that. Native American,
Natives, yeah,
natives,
Jalen. And
oh,
Hispanic.
Hispanic. Who's his? Is it Sarah?
Evan.
Oh, Evan. Duh. Yeah. Yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
Speaking of Evan, just very quickly, if you guys, I want to plug something very quickly.
Yeah, go for it.
I will be if you guys want to listen to me a little bit more, I'll be guesting on several podcast episodes of our friend Evan's podcast called The 360, which should be coming out in about a month or so. So look forward
Hopefully.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah. And if I'm being completely honest, Evan's kind of the reason why I started my own podcast. Like, I've thought about it, like, ever since I started listening to, oh gosh, who was it? The Courage and Nate Shot show and what's his name? Joe Rogan. Those are basically the only two podcasts I've ever listened to. But after kind of listening to them and getting into it, I was kind of like, oh, I think it would be kind of cool to start my own podcast. But it's just like, well, shit. Like, I don't know who I'm going to do it with. Obviously, I got you on board, Tristan, so thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, because all I do is listen to comedy podcasts at work, like Your Mom's House and stuff like that.
Yeah, and so, yeah, and then anyway, all of a sudden, I remember Evan bringing up that he wanted to start a podcast. I'm just like, oh, he's doing it. I'm like, well, shit. Maybe at some time in the future, I'll start my own podcast. And sure enough, here I am today. I was able to beat Evan to it in a way. But, I think he can definitely make a good podcast. I think Evan has really good talking points. Like, we've all talked with Evan one-on-one. I think he can definitely pull it off.
Yeah, for sure.
Being a good host for a podcast.
Yeah, no, he draws a lot of inspiration too from the Pat McAfee show, and I know just like how Pat McAfee has that excited energy, and I know that he tries to mimic that, and I know he uses that as the main influence. Just having conversations with him, I know he'll do well in the long run. I mean, when it starts, just like us, I mean, we have no idea what we're doing. He definitely has more of an idea of what he's doing than we are. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
But
yeah.
I feel like if he keeps up with it consistently, which I don't know why he wouldn't. I think it's gonna turn. I think it has a ton of potential.
Oh yeah, 100%. The only thing, of course, that I haven't figured out yet is how to upload these podcasts to Spotify or Apple Music. I don't really know how it works. I got to figure it out because obviously I'm uploading to YouTube, my YouTube channel right now. But yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out later. But I guess moving on to a different topic here. So it was just Christmas the other day. It's the 27th of December right now, right before the new year, 2022. We'll have to see what that holds for us. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we could just talk briefly how our Christmases went. If you guys had a good time, like what maybe gift you got that was really convenient.
Oh, dude, my Christmas was awful. You would not believe what I did. I had to stay at one of my friend's house, and like,
Oh no.
yeah, it was awful. They made me get up and open presents. It was,
Yeah, you're
Made
welcome,
you
by the
share a
way.
mic on an episode of their
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, I'm making you record an episode of the podcast, this landing podcast.
Yeah, and Max, don't worry. Next time when you're on here, we'll make sure it'll be after the studio's built, and you'll have your own mic and everything.
oh, I look forward to it.
Yeah, that's when we'll find the blue snowball microphone in my brother's room. But yeah, Tristan, how did your Christmas go?
It was pretty uneventful because I was so my girlfriend had RSV. Don't know exactly what that stands for. It was basically, from what she told me, it was like it's like an upper respiratory virus. So basically, I was just congested, coughing up a bunch of mucus and whatnot, and I stayed home just because my mom's side of the family, they're retired, and I didn't want to risk getting them sick. And a couple of them got COVID, and then my dad's side of the family, the ones that are all. Almost all of them got COVID, which is ironic because they're all anti-vax and thought the virus was a lie. Not trying to start any debates here, but I just thought that was kind of funny and ironic. So yeah, that happened. So Christmas there got canceled. So I spent Christmas Eve and Christmas Day just hanging out here by myself. And I'm actually in a pretty good mood today because work got canceled for me today because I drive around for work, and they didn't want us working today because of all the snow. And then one of my coworkers texted me today and told me that there's no work tomorrow either. So I pretty much have a 5-day weekend.
Oh wow.
And then I work, and then if there's work Wednesday, I work Wednesday, Thursday, and then I have Friday off because that's New Year's Eve. So I pretty much just been chilling at home. But yeah, I mean, I got some pretty cool stuff. I got my girlfriend got me South Park Monopoly. Monopoly is like my favorite board game. You know, Fisher, we might hang out New Year's Eve, so we'll probably be playing that.
Fun.
Yeah, and you know those Funko Pops, like the things that people collect
Yeah.
and they keep. Yeah, my buddy got me a Stephon Diggs one, Buffalo
really?
Bills one. Yeah. I'm
wow.
gonna be putting that in my office whenever I go back to work.
I actually didn't
Yeah,
know
it's-
they have like NFL players as Funko Pops.
Yeah,
I actually didn't
they're
realize
actually
that.
pretty cool.
I
Yeah,
knew
they're
that.
actually pretty cool. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, and of course my Christmas, it was the same as yours, Max. I mean, you were with me, opening up some gifts. I think definitely by far the best gift I think I got. Well, it's a little bit of debate, but I think as of right now, my favorite gift I got was that whiteboard. I cannot wait to put that thing up and start using it. I've been wanting a whiteboard for a while because I do have that cork board, as you can see right there, Max. But
Yeah.
you can't really write on a cork board. You can only like pin
I mean, you
things
can,
up.
but you only do it once.
Yeah. So the whiteboard was definitely something that I personally enjoyed. Was really happy I got. And then now we're looking forward to the new year. I mean, Max, what are you doing for New Year's? Because you're going to be going back home, basically.
Yeah, I'll be visiting my parents for New Year's.
And can we just take a moment to, Max, your parents are the luckiest people because they grew up, or not grew up, but they watched you grow up in a small town where the winters can be really harsh, the summers are 100 plus degrees, and where they are now, the summers are even more brutal, but they go from living there for I don't know how long, were they here for 20 years?
Yeah, actually, because I'm adopted, as soon as I was adopted, we lived in Seattle for like a year, and I think we moved here in 2002, so about roughly 20 years, yeah.
Yeah, and then as soon as you and your brother graduate, they move down south to where they're down in I don't know the exact spot, but it's like the Palm Springs area,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, and it's just beautiful there. They got a nice house. The weather is always nice.
Yeah.
I can't
believe
put
me,
into words how jealous I am of them.
They wanted to do that actually my freshman year, but then I complained. I was like, oh no, I don't want to leave my friends and all that, so they actually stayed because I wanted to stay. And actually looking back at it, I'm glad I stayed in Darrington. I don't regret anything, but maybe it would have been better if I moved out of Darrington.
Yeah, living in a more populated area.
Yeah.
I think it is a smart move because I think especially like moving to a different place, starting your freshman year of high school. Yeah, you're gonna have to make completely new friends, and that's gonna suck. And I am pretty grateful that I didn't have to move anywhere. And you stick with those friends pretty much the whole time. But I think it is a good thing that you did stay. I mean, I'm glad you did. I probably wouldn't be friends with you still.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah.
We wouldn't be having this podcast. So we, and it's kind of interesting because basically, like, as soon as you graduate high school, your parents moved, right?
Oh yeah, no. So I graduated on a Saturday, and then by next Saturday they were gone. I was gone before that. I left like 2 days after graduation to go to Mexico, and then I went and visited my parents.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so as soon as graduation happened, I was out of here.
God, I bet I bet your parents were just counting down the days. It's like, it's almost graduation. We can get the heck out of here.
Oh yeah, no. Like when graduation happened, we had my grad party at one of my teacher's houses because my house was empty. We moved everything already.
Jeez. I don't blame your parents for moving to Palm Springs either. It's
beautiful.
It's way warmer, like all year round. Obviously, it can get really hot where you can't even go outside essentially. But yeah, kudos to your parents for doing because for me personally, like I really admire people who actually like. I don't know what the right term is, like bite the bullet, or they just say F it and they do it,
Yeah.
That's kind of how I am personally. I mean, you and I were actually just talking about earlier today. I'm like, hey, do you need an extra roommate back when you move out to the current place you're at? Because I just want to because I'm at the point where I'm done being patient. I'm just like, F it. I just want to do what I want to do now. That's kind of like where I am in my life.
Like a go-getter.
Yeah, go-getter. Yeah. I don't know, Tristan, are you like that at all?
Yeah, in a way. And I mean, like, back to your parents moving down to Palm Springs. I mean, like, I know there's no way in hell that it is cheap to live down there. And I feel like they had to like they've had to have saved money and managed money in such a way that they were able to do that, especially and have it timed out to the point where you guys both graduated. I mean, I remember, I can't remember who told me this, but they told me, you can correct me or not if it's true, but they told me that your parents used to flip houses. Is that true?
Yes, that is true. They did that since middle school. I think the plan to move to Palm Springs was in the works for a really long time, but it, you know, as you said, it's really expensive, so they had to save up a lot and do a lot of money management in order to do it.
Wow. Okay. I actually didn't know about the flipping houses thing. Maybe I've heard a while ago and just completely went by my head. Another thing I want to talk about, because I know both of you guys do this, unlike I do, or at least I used to, is workout routine. So starting with you, Max, I know you kind of care about your health and fitness a little bit, so I'm sure you do something a little bit every day while you're at home.
Yeah,
whatever.
Push-ups. When I have the chance, I'll go to the gym. But I didn't actually start working out until after high school, until I got to college. The funny story behind that is the reason why I started working out was not because, you know, this obviously you get to college, there's a lot of people there, you can meet some girls or whatever. I cared more about the moms. there were some fine moms.
I've always been into MILFs too.
I was like, damn, all right, I gotta like work out now so I can catch some attention, you know. Speaking of which, I'm not gonna say which friend this was, but I did get one of my friend's mom's phone numbers recently.
Oh, days, yeah.
So, not gonna brag, but I am very proud of that.
Oh, wow, you are slaying poo-tang out there. But and you know they're experienced. You know why go for ones our age who don't have as much experience?
They know what they're doing.
But yeah, so going with you, Tristan. I mean, I think you work out pretty consistently, don't you?
Okay, so my routine is weird because once March 1st hits, so you know, once the New Year's hits, it is very cliche of people to say, okay, now it's time for me to start working out. And a lot of people who go to the gym consistently don't go to the gym like all of January because it's packed of so many people that show up for like a month, maybe 2 months.
New Year's resolution, they barely last.
So like once March rolls around, yeah, I try to go to the gym Monday through Friday. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I get lazy, like especially like once like I get to like Wednesday or Thursday in the middle of the week, and I might get home and not work out, and then I'll make up for it on Saturday because I usually work 6 days a week anyway. So on Saturday, and the cool thing is if I go to the gym on a Saturday, it's usually there's like nobody there, so it's a lot easier for me to get my stuff done. And I go to Planet Fitness, which is basically the Walmart of gyms. So I mean there are some sketchy people there, but I mean it's $10 a month, and they have all the machines, they have the free weights. And, you know, and the thing is, like, and they have, like, a lunk alarm there. Like, there's no, like, screaming. And so, basically, there's no, like, meatheads there that are deadlifting and screaming at the top of their lungs. And, like, you know, deadlifting is great. But, I mean, it's just people like that I feel like intimidate everybody. And, like, honestly, I go there, especially like, going, like, with my girlfriend. Like, she'll, like, go work out by herself. And it seems like, not even just like with her, but like let's say like I'll see like an attractive girl at the gym, like I'll notice like she'll be working like by herself. I notice like a bunch of dudes like swarm, like not like around her, but like a lot of dudes are looking at her, especially if she's like doing squats. And that's the thing, like I feel so bad for all the women that want to go there and just want to have a workout and be productive, and there's dudes just swarmed in there because there's so much testosterone there, you know.
Oh yeah.
And like I feel so bad for them, but I mean like I have a lot of respect for the ones there that just go work their ass off and leave. And I feel like as a dude, I mean, having the male privilege and whatnot, it's a lot easier to just go there, work out, and leave. And like I notice that more whenever I go with my girlfriend, because like usually like we go there and we go our separate ways. She goes and does her workout, and I'll do mine. And she'll talk to me about some dude who tried talking to her, or some dude who's been staring at her. And I was like, oh, no, I don't even notice this stuff just because I'm a guy and I'm working out doing my own thing.